Hey there, folks. It's Eric Osberg, and we're here with another rural rebound conversation. And I'm joined by President Brimhall from M State. How are you doing today, President
I'm
Brimhall?
doing fantastic. It's great to see you.
It's good to be seen, and it's good to see you. It's been a while. So the reason that we wanted to chat with you today is the last 9 months have been challenging to say the least, and there might be folks out there who are looking for a new career path, or maybe they're displaced at the moment and trying to plot a new way forward. And we're lucky enough to have an institution like M State right here in our backyard and in the surrounding areas. For someone who's unfamiliar with M State, how do you describe M State to people? What do you want people to know about M State?
Sure. Well, there's so many things. And as a graduate of the institution, of course, I could be here all day until tomorrow talking about what I want people to know. But, the first of all, I want them to know we're the best college in the nation, and that we rank in maybe don't get the rankings. We're in the top 10 nationally for student outcomes and the work that we do. But M State's a really special place. It's a really cool place focused on every student who walks through our doors or right now comes to us virtually, meeting them where they're at in their life journey and then getting them to achieve their dreams. So it's a really student focused place to be. We have 4 campuses in Detroit Lakes, Fergus Falls, Moorhead, and Wadena. And then a surprising fact is we have 4 mobile classrooms as well that we deliver all over this region and beyond to bring to workforce sites to provide training for incumbent workers who are often so busy they can't even leave the work site in order to get the training that they need. So we pull up the classroom right to there, and sometimes we're there for 8 hours, and sometimes we're there for 16 weeks with those mobile trailers. So we're a large, comprehensive college, and we have over 70 degree programs. So everything from dental hygiene and nursing to HVAC and plumbing and liberal arts and sciences and business, and there are just so many options that are really fun and exciting in terms of what we do.
And so there, there's you probably have a diverse group of students there, not only from different backgrounds, but different stages of life, if you will, right? You've got some students that are fresh out of high school or maybe even still in high school a little bit. And then you've got, so I guess it would be impossible to say what's the typical M State student like, but what types of folks are getting an education through M State?
Yeah, about every type you can imagine. And our student government always says if you knew the story of every M State student, you would be very proud. So we think of it that way because we do have a student that when people think of college students, we certainly have students that look like, think like, act like, and are educated like traditional college students. They come to us right out of high school. They maybe play a sport on the Fergus Falls campus or involved with the theater or music program. They maybe live in housing. We house about this year we house about 50 students, but normal years we house about 140 students on the Fergus Falls campus in our housing units. So we have a cafeteria, all of those things on the Fergus Falls campus are very traditional. And then we also have an incredibly diverse student body. And so we have students who don't speak English as their first language. In fact, it's their second, fifth, eighth, 12th language, a beautiful array of languages that our students speak. A lot of students of color, students who are new to this region, who are international, students who are new to this region because their family relocated here, students who are in recovery, students who are homeless, students who have food insecurity and don't know where they're going to get their next meal. Students who are working adults who are laid off, who are retraining for something new. And every student story in between there. It's a lot of parents, people who are trying to fit school in around everything else they do. The beauty of community colleges is that if you have a desire to go to school, we're ready to accept you and wherever you're at, and we'll figure out how to get you all the credits you need, and we'll figure out how to get you from wherever you are today to wherever you're trying to go. So I think we have 20% of our students are over the age of 31. So we're relatively young for a community college, so our average age is in the 20s. But about 30% are students of color. A larger percentage than that don't speak English as a first language. So it's a really fun place to be, because every day students have pretty cool ways of looking at the way that we work.
So what if I'm hearing you correctly, no matter what stage in life or what your background is, there might be a spot for you at M State. Is that an accurate statement?
And that's absolutely accurate. And most people don't realize too the scope of what we do. Right now, we serve about 8,000 students in credit-based instruction annually, and we serve about 7,000 in non-credit-based instruction. So we serve about 15,000 students a year. So a lot of times our communities think of only the campus that's in their community. They don't necessarily think about M State as a whole. And within that, we serve a couple thousand students that are still in high school, in 46 different high schools. So we partner with 46 different high schools around the state of Minnesota to offer concurrent enrollment instruction and e-campus in the high school, some opportunities for students in rural schools to metro schools to get credits and earn those for free. So last year, our students took about those high school students took about 27,000 credits of instruction through M State, saving their families about $5 million in tuition. So, when we look at Roseau, one of our partners, as an example, we offer instruction in Roseau, we offer instruction in Marshall, Minnesota, and probably almost every high school in between those two. So it's, when we think about our student, we don't really make a lot of assumptions about what they look like and what they need, because it's kind of all over the place.
And so you had mentioned opportunity, and there's one train of thought that students, high school students, they graduate from high school, then they go to a 4-year liberal arts college or whatever it is, and then they chase their dreams, right? There seems to be a shift in the tone that the 2-year programs, the technical programs, right, like the trades programs. I mean, do you have a way to describe the type of opportunity that exists in and around this area specifically, but just in general, those trades and those types of programs? Why should I consider that line of curriculum, if you will, rather than the old traditional, I'm going to blank state, and for 4 years?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question. And we always, there are, I don't know if hundreds or thousands of students that we serve every year that do pursue that 4-year degree somewhere. They get there and they're like, I didn't really ever like this type of learning. I've always wanted to play around with things, dig around with my hands, use my hands, climb poles, clean teeth, work on IVs on people. So most often when students come to us, they've not had those students that choose that option, even though they know that's not the way they prefer learning, come back to us and we get them back on the right track. But oftentimes that's after debt has been incurred, time is lost, or someone I know just recently, is in his 40s, and he's like, I don't even know why I didn't go to a technical school and pursue a technical degree, because I've always known this is who I was. So life takes us in many, many paths, and that's why, without judgment, we just, wherever you are, we'll work with you. But that trade and technical program and those career programs, hot job market. If you've ever tried to call a plumber or find someone to do any work on your house or in your homes, how in demand that type of work is. And our students, we reduce the credits to as low as possible, reduce the debt as low as possible, and still get them the skills that they need to start in the workforce. So some of our programs have gone from 2 years to 1 year. Our plumbing program, as an example, is mostly online, except for the labs. So students can learn a lot about systems and all of that, and then they have to come in and show us that they understand what they're doing. You can't climb a pole online, so our electrical linemen are still climbing poles outside as we speak, in a safe way with masks on. And so our students make a lot of money. They earn a living wage. They get to be outside if that's what they want to do. They get to be doing the work that they want to do. And they can do it in a pretty short amount of time. So it's not for everyone, because we have theater students too and music students too. So we want to recognize where student skills are at, but the trades certainly have gained some momentum recently, and people understand that if that's the line of work that you like to that you want to do, and you're interested in doing it, that a community college is the really logical next step in that journey.
And another, and you mentioned it again earlier, is the nursing or healthcare, right? Like how, I mean, that's obviously become at the forefront of everybody's mind lately, is how important a good healthcare system is. Any words of advice for somebody who's exploring, maybe I should go into that field?
Yes, talk to us. Even if you don't end up coming to M-State, we can help you navigate that piece, because we're starting to get a lot more sponsorships in the healthcare area. So just yesterday, in fact, I was up in Fargo at a signing ceremony for one of our students who is accepted to our program, and will have all of her expenses paid by Sanford, where she wanted to work anyway. But when they found that out, they said, well, we'll pay for you to go to school in exchange for you saying that this is where you intend to work when you're done. And so there's so many opportunities for students in that field because of the demand. We enroll about 180 nursing students a year at M-State in the actual program, and many, many more who are seeking generals waiting to get in. And we have organizations just this week asked us if we can double those numbers. So it is a hot career. However, I'll say though, we have a lot of other healthcare fields too. And that's why I think it's important to figure out, everyone knows nurses and doctors. But one of my favorite stories to tell is we have an invasive cardiovascular technology program. And I describe that as the person, if someone's having a heart attack or a stroke, it's the person who drives the catheter through the body for the surgeon or physician that's working. So when we toured the lab and I saw the joystick and everything that they use, I said to the lab director, I said, like, who's good at this? Who do you look for? And he said, we look for kids who love video games, or people who love video games, because they're used to things coming at them and they're able to keep this focus on what's in front of them. So like the way that screens work and games work, there's stuff coming at you all the time, and you're able to sort of stay laser focused on what you need to do. So I always tell that to all the groups that I meet with that have children. I always say, so there is hope for your kid that's addicted to those games. There is a career, and actually quite a few students have pursued it just because I've made that joke. But
Sure.
I think that there's a lot in, we have MLT, so people who work in the lab, they like healthcare, they like science, but they don't like people necessarily are working with them. They can be in the lab setting. So, we always say we want to do what's best for students. And if we're not best, we'll help you find what is. But I think we're a great place to start and to explore those things.
All right. And anything else that you think, I know we've covered a lot, but anything else that you think is important that you want to make sure that people know about M-State, your institution, your programs, anything else you think is important?
Well, the last thing I'd say is just that M-State really prides itself on being innovative and responsive to our communities. So community and technical colleges, our main mission and goal is to reflect the needs of our region and to serve and teach students to reflect those needs. And so I would just say, if you think we can be part of a solution for your family, for yourself, or for your business, to reach out and ask the question. You can reach out to me directly. I'm never too busy to help people navigate our system and try to figure out who they should be contacting, because it's always a big question we get. Who should I contact? You can contact me and I'll help you find the right team member that will get you there. But everything from bringing diversity, equity, inclusion training to organizations to providing safety training and Excel training to businesses. We just do so much to serve our region. And even today, as much as I love M-State, it's every week that somebody says, I didn't know you did that. I didn't know you had that. I didn't know that about the college. And so if you think that we can provide a solution for, you or anyone you love or that you lead, we'd love to have a conversation.
And where should people go to start that conversation? What's the website, or where would you direct them to start that conversation?
Well, a very appropriate website, it's minnesota.edu. We have a directory. You can find me on the directory. So if you can just remember minnesota.edu, give us a call or submit a question on the directory, and I'll get back to you right away. I'll never forget the day we looked up that website and saw that it was available and realized we could get it. I was in that meeting, and it was a really big day. So minnesota.edu, we'd love to be a partner with you.
All right. Well, we really appreciate you taking the time. It's good to see you again. It's been a while, and if anything comes up, let us know.
Will do. Thanks, Eric.